Good evening, our Mexican friends. Thank you for having us again. Thank you. We are really excited and happy to be there with you tonight. I didn't improve in Spanish since last year, so sorry, I won't speak Spanish. Let's try in English. Thank you.
¡Woo! ¡Yes! Iniciamos esta entrevista con la banda Corpus Delicti, que ellos están ahora, en esta ocasión, están en Francia. Están en Francia, la vez pasada que los tuve fue en octubre, y ellos estaban en Perú, y tuvimos muchos problemas de transmisión, pero bueno, hicimos una excelente entrevista y nos quedamos con ganas de tenerlos de nuevo para platicar ahora sí cómo les fue en Lima, Perú, cómo les fue en Bogotá, en Ecuador, en México, Monterrey. Estoy súper, pero fascinado. La música de ellos, pues muchos de ustedes ya la conocen, sobre todo en áreas como Monterrey y en México DF, en Sudamérica, y obviamente pues en Europa, ¿verdad? El movimiento de lo que tiene de ellos, el movimiento europeo, está creciendo tremendamente, sobre todo lo que es la onda así como que underground y la onda así bien selectiva, bien padre, bien nicho, bien culto. Está creciendo tremendamente, cada vez están llegando más a Atlanta bandas excelentísimas, y me ha tocado ir a conciertos que son una calidad increíble, y los músicos, la cultura de los músicos me sorprende. También quiero decirles that this episode of La Dosis will be in Spanglish, English, trilingual, bilingual, and we're going to speak French, we're going to speak English, we're going to be speaking Spanish, of course, but the most important thing is it's in English, but with an accent, they said, right? You have an accent, they said a lot here in Georgia. I said, no, you have an accent. See, you and everybody has an accent, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, totally.
We all have an accent. We all have an accent. I'm so good for it. Welcome, my friend Chris, my friend Sebastian, and Beatriz. Welcome once again to La Dosis, the rock radio and more. This is your place. And who wants to start and tell me first? Salud.
Cheers.
Because in Paris, it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock.
6 p.m. Yes.
6 o'clock p.m. I'm sorry. Yeah. Who wants to start with letting me know about what happened after we talked? Because we talked that day in the morning when you're going to start your first gig in Peru. So starting your Latin America tour, coming from the world tour. So, Sebastian.
Okay, let's start. Thanks for having us again.
Yes.
That's really nice to talk with you again. So yes, the tour was such an adventure. I would say the word that I have in mind when I think about that tour is a real adventure. Because last time we went to South America, it was only in Mexico. So things were really easier for traveling, etc. So that was quite a big adventure, because we just stayed for 2 or 3 days in each city, have to move, and each time we had to move, we had to take the plane. We had to move like with, I don't know, we have like more than 10 luggage with instruments, and so it was really a big thing each time we had to travel. But that the magnificent thing is that each gig was fantastic, because we had such a great audience in each city, and it was such amazing for us to realize that even in Bogotá, San Jose, people were coming to see us. And the show I have in mind, maybe the one that was more special to me and maybe to us, was the one in Bogotá, because there were many young people, maybe most of the crowd was about, I don't know, in their 20s. They were singing the lyrics out loud. They were shouting, singing, and that was such incredible for us to realize that even so far from home, people were listening to our songs. And the whole tour was fantastic because the promoters were really, they wanted to do everything for us to be like at home, and we had wonderful time on stage and backstage with the promoters. That was really nice.
Well, so people in Mexico, please take note, okay? Because you gotta do a better work next time. You know what?
That was great in Mexico also. That's always great in Mexico.
No, I'm just kidding. But you know what? This is something that is happening with Gen Z, Beatriz and Chris and Sebastian. These guys are seeing our music like new. So they're kind of that's what we've been talking with. I've been talking with a lot of people, lots of them, and like artists and people in general, that we love music, right? That we're seeing the young generations. It's not like there's just listening to something vintage. Is that they really kind of accepting or embracing the culture. And they're seeing it just like as music that they just listen for first time, or was brand new, and it is some fashion and trending and whatever, because it's heck amazing. It's so amazing that, you know, our music, definitely we're so proud of that. and those things.
The funniest thing also about Mexico, we have a huge lots of people listening to us in Mexico, and before the day before the gig, Beatriz took us to El Chopo. That's it, Beatriz? Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys went to El Chopo.
We really have to go there. Actually, I was really looking for them to play like 1 or 2 songs, but they told me that there was Day of the Dead, so there was no gigs that day. But they told me, why don't you do why don't you do a meet and greet? And I say, well, I don't know. Well, and it was difficult because we're coming from Monterrey. So we went to the Chopo, and I told them, but let's just go to the Chopo, because it's a place you have to know. If we come back once again, we can go there, and maybe if you like it, you can play a few songs as the bands used to do before their concert. But tell them what happened.
Yeah, the funny thing.
Can you, with Sebastian, would you say all that in Spanish very quick for our friends in Mexico? Would you just say no, Beatriz, can you explain?
Yeah, Sebastián speak very good Spanish, but I think I can do it in his place. Estaba diciendo que fue muy gracioso porque yo realmente quería que la banda tocara unas canciones en el Chopo, porque yo crecí así, yo crecí con esas raíces de que había un concierto grande y si te iba bien, ibas al Chopo ese día, tal vez de sorpresa te tocaba ver a la banda tocar, ¿no? Entonces yo quería que Corpus Delicti diera esa sorpresa en la Ciudad de México, pero era el Día de Muertos, entonces me dijeron, es que no hay conciertos, pero hagan un meet and greet. Yo les dije, va a estar complicado porque tenemos muchas cosas que hacer, pero les dije a Corpus, bueno, vamos, porque es un lugar que realmente es especial, es como la meca del gótico en Latinoamérica, es el lugar donde todo mundo tiene que ir, es the must be. Y los llevé entonces ese día al Chopo, pero solamente para dar una vuelta y que conocieran el lugar y que a lo mejor les dieran ganas de regresar. Pero le decía a Sebastián que contara qué fue lo que pasó, porque normalmente nada más íbamos a dar una vuelta y se encontraron atorados con un montón de fans, ¿no? Eso fue y eso que no había gente porque era día feriado y la gente normalmente el Día de Muertos en México está con su familia.
Exacto.
Pero aún así se encontraron, íbamos 15 minutos y nos tardamos. How much did we stay finally? Because I was telling them that we were there for just like 50 minutes just to walk around a little bit, and at the end we were there like 1 hour.
At least 1 hour, yes.
Okay, hey, well, Sebastian, it's your turn. Can you go ahead and explain what happened in La Plaza del Chopo?
Before going to the Chopo, Beatriz told us, I'm going to call the security to tell them that we are going, because some people are going to recognize you there. we were laughing. We told her, yeah, okay, call the security, no problem. And as soon as we put a foot in El Chopo, a first person stopped us and it told us, oh, you're Corpus Delicti, can you sign an autograph? And for an hour, every 5 or 10 minutes, somebody was stopping us to take a photo, to have an autograph. The first the first young lady we met had the logo tattooed on her skin.
What?
And when she saw us, she told us, oh my God, I can't believe it. Your music changed my life. And that was incredible because that kind of thing does not happen in France that often, almost never in France. It's really...
Yeah, it happened in France a little bit too. In Paris was pretty much the same last time.
Just a little bit, but
don't be shy.
Yeah, but nothing to compare with Mexico. So that's crazy for us because Mexico is such a big city that people can recognize us in the street. And it was we had the same thing last time we went to Mexico. So this is simply amazing.
Yes, and no wonder. Talking with people after we had this interview last year. And people seeing that you were with me and all that, we talk about you, and some probably were aware of the band, but many, especially Mexicans from Mexico City, they I mean, for them, it's like you're in the same kind of space in their hearts. Like actually, The Cure is amazing, right? It's so good and well known. It's another band that has kind of the same flavor. But it's
it's not the same.
It's not the same. You guys are more like more kind of exclusive and the hearts of people because you feel like this is my band. That's one of the things that the culture that we grew up with is that we wanted to have bands that nobody knew. Like not many people know. You don't want to hear your bands in the radio. Like playing over and over. No. My band is something that just some of us know.
If I can say, Eduardo, if I can say something about it, if Sebastian and Chris let me, especially for me, I know that we had a special connection with Corpus Delicti because Corpus Delicti started to be like very iconic at the end of the 90s in Mexico City. So they were not there anymore. So we had a great time in the 90s with all these big bands that came to Mexico City. You were talking about The Cure. Well, The Cure were in Monterrey. So we had all those bands in Mexico City. But something was very, very special for Mexico City is that for Corpus Delicti, no one thought that we were ever going to see them, because it was a band that didn't exist anymore and that we really like it, and we wouldn't have the chance to see it anymore. So I think that's the magic about Corpus Delicti.
Yes, but you guys look very in live, because all these bands that we're seeing, like AC/DC and all that, it is we go there because we love them, right? Because we want to see them, but not because really they're like, oh my God. I mean, Angus Young is not doing the same things, but we love them. You guys look very young. They're just you guys in good shape. So you have years to come.
We hope so.
Yeah, no, I believe that. That's what I believe. There's people now.
Chris is a bit old. Chris is
yeah, no, but
I have my hair.
Chris, the whole band is
I'm
amazing.
told that I have my hair. Me.
Chris, I want to tell you something. That your bass lines are so awesome.
I know.
There you go. No, your bass lines are
very
so
simple.
cool. They're very. They have their essence, And I don't know, Sebastian, what helps you better to do your song? Does it help you to do a line after your melodies and your words and your delivery? Does it help you a guitar? Yeah. Does it help you better a bass, or what?
It's a very, very good question, because not many people have asked us this question. It's clearly it's the bass line.
Yeah. I saw it. I saw it because you're listening, and
it's a great moment today. It's a great moment today.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down.
This
I wait this moment for 35 years now.
What did he said? I couldn't understand.
He says that I've never. He said that I've never told this to him, and he was waiting for this moment for 35 years.
Yeah, I like, I'm a musician. I play music, and I like composition, and for me, you guys are, like you're a treasure, right? We everybody that is still doing great music, and we're gonna go over the album, so people that don't know you much, I want them to know where to find you, what kind of albums, if you have vinyls, if you we want to go all over that information. But the most important thing that I like to know is how everything comes. And I mean, you go to the side of the moon, you know that song, it's like it goes to text you to. Remember, I asked you last time that I asked you if you guys have any movies where you so people got your soundtrack, because it's very cinematic, you know, and then you feel like the bass lines, and the bass line takes you somewhere, and you go around there, and then you have the guitar doing all this kind of like a spider webs and things. I'm hallucinating. I'm sorry. You know what, guys? Where's my tequila? Today, right now is 6 p.m. 6:17 p.m. Would you mind if I have a shot of tequila?
No, you can.
You can. Yeah, just one, just for. I'm not driving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in my studio. So
I didn't know it was aloe. I have plain of tequila in my
really
in my kitchen.
Really? Well, you're most welcome to go and get
Next
a shot.
time. Next time.
Okay. So basically, then you went to Monterrey. Tell me something about Monterrey, because look, right now you have saludos desde Monterrey.
There's several.
Tell me anything about. Do you remember how was it?
Oh, that was particular in Monterrey because the gig had been cancelled just a few days before we gone there. There was an issue over there, so we couldn't have played there. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But we went.
We'll edit this part.
Yeah, no problem. No, because that was still a great time in Monterrey, because as we had to go there, the promoter took contact with a record store in Monterrey. Do you remember, Bea, the name of the record store?
Yeah, Dark Visions.
Okay. And we had a meet and greet there for maybe 1 hour or two in the afternoon. So that gave us the chance to meet some of the fans that were planning to come to the gig. They could have met us there. And the guys at the record shop were really, really nice. We had a wonderful time there. So it was a pity that we couldn't have played there, but it was still nice to have the chance to meet some of the people there. So that was still a nice memory over there.
Perfect. And it was very touching. It was very touching because there are some people that came from really very far from Monterrey city. There was I don't know if you remember, Sebastian. It was a young guy. He made like 4 hours in several buses to arrive to the record store, and he was there with his album. And like him, there was people like arriving very late because they were coming from work just to see the band before they leave. So I think that was very, very touching about Monterrey.
Probably that's the one you knew, but definitely I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people there that's coming from different places. We have a group in WhatsApp where we share our things every day. We have very active Rock Radio and More WhatsApp group, and there are people from musicians, bands, and things. And there's one person that is a fan of the rock bands, but the ones that know kind of like a very exclusive bands that, brand new bands that they're bringing up with. He likes to buy cassettes and albums. He comes from Tijuana to Monterrey just to buy new stuff and, of course, visit or whatever. But there's a lot of that area. Monterrey is a capital of other cities in the north, we can say. And it would be nice to find another city that can be strong, like Torreón, Chihuahua, Tijuana, where you guys can really tour around.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most difficult part for the band, probably financially or logistically, to do more visit Mexico or Latin America more often?
It's because it's really expensive for promoters to book us from Europe to South America. So they have to book us in some cities where they are almost sure to have at least a minimum of people, because it's not possible for them. So I suppose, I don't know, but I suppose there are not many places in Mexico when we can play in front of many people. So that's why maybe we only made like Mexico, Guadalajara, but yes, it would be, we could maybe consider this if we do maybe like 10 or I don't know 20 dates in Mexico. It would maybe be possible to make smaller places, but when we come for 2 or 3 gigs, we can't play in like small cities. It's not possible.
Hopefully we can come up with creative ways, Betty and Chris and Sebastian, better ways to sponsor things. Like I said, I mean, Coca-Cola, come on, Pepsi. I mean, all these beers. I mean, stop giving money to Kanye West and all these idiots. You know, come on, let's go underground. Let's help the tours happen.
And more culture, maybe, because Sebastian was talking about how expensive it is, but we must say that for some promoters, not everyone, they start to getting used to have bands with 2 people. So they just have a synthesizer, so they just go. It's very easy. They make a lot of money. But if they bring a real rock band, well, there are at least 4 people. Well, in this case, was 4 people plus the tour manager plus the sound engineering. Because as Sebastian said, every single concert was special. But I can guarantee I was not there on the stage, but I was in every concert, and it was the same quality. That's because they have a team and because they have a sound engineer that comes with them. They really respect the public, and they really give everything in each concert. They give in a big place, in a small place in Europe and Latin America. And sometimes promoters, they are not ready to spend that money in quality. So some of them, they say, okay, like post-punk or synth pop, it's popular, they cost nothing, so let's bring a 2 members band. And I think that's a shame, because it's okay because they are really good projects, but like something like Corpus Delicti or other old school Gothic bands, like it's different. Like it's another energy, it's another kind of quality of concert, I think.
Would you be so kind to Betty, taking advantage of your Spanish? Would you say something and give the credits that you said in Spanish to the people that was involved and really collaborate to make things happen? Would you say, would
Yes,
you mention that? Would you say that now?
Claro. Yo creo que para mí lo más difícil de la gira fue, como dice Sebastián, encontrar el financiamiento, ¿no? Porque muchos promotores me decían como, ok, les pagamos tanto dinero, pero no hay dinero para los boletos porque son muchos miembros, etcétera. Y realmente en el camino lo que tuvimos que hacer es realmente conectar con gente de la escena, que a lo mejor no son organizadores profesionales de conciertos, pero que realmente tienen el corazón y que son fans de Corpus Delicti. Entonces, digamos que tuvimos la suerte, por ejemplo, en Perú, que fue Martín Melancox de Ilusión Marchita. Ilusión Marchita tiene los mismos años de trayectoria que Corpus Delicti, ¿me entiendes? Y que alguien así, que él es poeta, que él es así un músico súper comprometido, que tiene su banda de dark wave y todo eso, que haya tomado en sus hombros el proyecto de Corpus Delicti para traerlos a Lima porque nadie más lo hizo, pues es así como que lo máximo que pudimos haber tenido. Y aparte el contacto con esa banda, que pues es una banda culto en Perú. Después estuvimos en el Asilo Bar, que también es lo mismo, él es un promotor profesional, pero él así como decía, bueno, no importa cómo salga el concierto, yo tengo que ser la persona que traiga a Corpus Delicti, a Colombia. Entonces fue el Asilo Bar con Henry Pasajero, que se encargó y maravillosamente, porque él tiene un equipo profesional, entonces en Bogotá fue mágico porque no tuvimos que sufrir con otras fechas, que era realmente do it by yourself, que era realmente bastante rústico. Después nos fuimos a Costa Rica y pues ahí sí fue como que un desafío enorme porque hubo conciertos antes, hubo conciertos después, incluso hubo concierto de una banda de punk española el mismo día que el concierto de Corpus Delicti. Entonces ahí nos pasó de todo y ahí fue Carfax, que es lo mismo que con Perú, fue Carfax Haddocks de Last Dusk, que es una banda también culto en Costa Rica, que también dijo, no puede ser que Corpus Delicti hace su primera gira en Latinoamérica y que no van a venir a Costa Rica. Entonces se aventó el paquetísimo de organizar la gira y hizo lo que pudo para que el concierto se llevara a cabo. Y bueno, ya en México, ya descansamos un poco porque en México se encargó la comunidad autogestiva, que con Alfonso y Jair, que están armando del concierto, estuvieron armando del concierto de Corpus Delicti, y de hecho ellos fueron los que organizaron la primera gira en México de Corpus Delicti, y bueno, ellos ya tienen tablas, ellos ya fue en el marco de un festival, y de hecho quería mencionar, porque mencionamos ese momento en donde no hubo concierto y realmente quería agradecer, se llama Reyes Amaro, se llama Dark Vision, los que puedan, los que vivan en Monterrey, por favor vayan, es una tienda súper pequeñita así de rock, pero para algo tan pequeño organizaron algo súper profesional y estuvieron haciendo muchísima publicidad para que la gente, aunque no hubiera concierto, fueran. Y de hecho creo que ahí fue un problema ahí de logística porque el concierto se anuló, pero es que la gente estaba esperando al último minuto para comprar su boleto y los promotores no podían esperar. Entonces, ese es más o menos el recapitulativo de las grandes personas que nos ayudaron y que ayudaron a Corpus Delicti a que hicieran realidad su sueño, porque tú me preguntas cómo le hizo Corpus Delicti. Yo te puedo decir que en Europa, cada vez, porque con el proyecto que tengo, yo voy y hago 1000 entrevistas, y lo primero que me dicen las bandas es, yo quiero ir a Latinoamérica, y yo pues sí, pero bueno, Corpus Delicti también son dos cosas, tener la energía de ir a América Latina, encontrar los buenos promotores, y por último, que bandas como Corpus Delicti tienen el privilegio que han picado piedra y que han ido formando su música y atravesado, como dices tú, la brecha del tiempo de las generaciones desde los 90, ¿no? Y en Latinoamérica, Corpus Delicti es una banda mítica. Entonces tuvimos la suerte de contar con promotores, pero promotores que eran fans, promotores que son admiradores de Corpus Delicti, y por eso pudimos llevar a cabo la gira en buenas condiciones.
¡Wow! Excelente, excelente esto que acabas de explicarnos, porque expresas no solo la experiencia de Corpus Delicti, pero una situación que estamos viviendo, que pues, si le buscamos o le encontramos la forma, podemos empezar a vencer esos obstáculos. What I was saying to Sebastian and Chris, what I was saying to, and she was saying, she explained very well where we stand. And this situation or this challenge that the bands from Europe have, right? To visit more America, the whole continent, not just United States. United States, we call it America. America is the whole continent, right?
Of course.
And I'm gonna tell you, Nightwish is a band that probably has big arenas full, right? In Europe, but here in Atlanta, not that much. And it's sad because this is the people that love this kind of quality of European rock is we wish there was a little bit of more kind of it gets, it's easier. We want you guys here more often. After we watch this this video that I want to show from Peru, I'm going to show a clip of the concert. That was the first concert in Latin America and South America, because you were already in Mexico before in another year. I want to ask Chris, Chris, you tell me about when you're the founder, you found the band, right? I mean, you're the member, you're the founder of the band. I want to see if you can explain how difficult it is to find your soul, the style of music, and then stay on it. I want to talk about that after we watch this video. Would you do me a favor? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Can you explain that in okay.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. We have been a wonderful audience tonight. Thank you. We would like to thank Elisabeth Marchita and Titania for playing with us tonight. Martin and Enrique for organizing all the need, and of course for the actors from Platicamos. Without her, we won't be there tonight, so thank you for having us tonight. You're very beautiful.
Quiero decir esto. Tener esta calidad de bandas en nuestro país, aquí en Estados Unidos, en México o en Latinoamérica, se requiere un esfuerzo, se requiere de verlo diferente. Esto no es de promotores, esto es más de movimiento. Es que yo he estado en estos conciertos aquí en Estados Unidos, viendo bandas europeas, de Portugal, de España, de demás, que traen este tipo de música, que es cultural, es algo, es como una exposición, por ejemplo, de arte, ¿verdad? Que tú traes y alguien, por ejemplo, aquí en Atlanta hicieron una exposición de Frida Kahlo y Diego Rivera, la primera en la historia, creo, en el mundo, donde ponen todas las obras de estos dos artistas mexicanos que son reconocidos probablemente en el universo, no solo en todo el mundo. Y tuvo que ser alguien que tuvo que decir, yo voy con eso. O sea, le puso dinero y le puso esfuerzo, tiempo, y empezar a mover cuerdas por aquí, por allá. Eso es lo que se requiere. No se requieren promotores que estén pensando en ganar dinero y vamos a hacer negocio. No, esto se requiere, ¿lo quieres hacer o no? ¿Vale la pena o no? Es importante que conozcamos esta vibra, que la traigamos aquí, que nos inspiremos y que entendamos esta cultura que traen estas bandas, que son pues europeas, siempre han tenido eso, muy casados con la calidad musical, desde siempre, desde toda la vida, desde la época de que el rock and roll estaba aquí en fuerte. ¿Quiénes fueron los que vinieron, invadieron con las grandes producciones musicales? Los europeos, Inglaterra, Queen, Led Zeppelin, o sea, Black Sabbath, todos venían con mucho. Entonces, siempre podemos otra vez, traer a Europa aquí y tomar esa esencia. Pero bueno, Chris, I needed to say what I said in Spanish. I really needed to say it. I'm sorry, Sebastian.
No,
Chris, tell me about how everything started and how you stay with it. How do you stay in the same, you guys stay, but tell me about what it takes.
Yeah, je veux bien une traduction.
Je pensais que j'allais seulement te traduire. Si tu peux leur dire, can you Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
Basically, understanding that doing a band, right?
Former un groupe.
Et-
Comment c'était ce processus? Oui.
Ah, la création du groupe.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard to create a band.
Oui, c'est difficile de créer cette musique.
And then
ce groupe.
creating a style.
Créer un style.
And I think once you start producing music,
Et une fois que tu produis de la musique,
once you start getting some fans and you're, like record labels or band decisions and things, it is hard.
De groupe, de label. Est-ce que c'est difficile tout ce processus?
To stay in the same thing because
tu restes sur la même ligne.
Because sometimes it is easy to feel we can go this way mainstream.
C'est facile du côté de mainstream, mais pour toi, de suivre la ligne de Corpus Delicti depuis le début et avoir pris toutes ces décisions artistiques et musicales, est-ce que c'était la façon que vous allez produire et faire et les labels que vous allez choisir, est-ce que c'était un choix facile pour toi en tant que membre fondateur du groupe?
Non, c'est pas que c'est facile.
No, it was not easy.
Mais c'était comme ça. Ça pouvait pas être autrement.
But it was like that. He hasn't the choice.
C'est la musique. C'est la musique qui nous parle, qu'on aime, et
la musique, it's music that
c'est
talks.
naturel de faire ça, d'aller vers ça. La question se posait même pas, quoi.
The question wasn't even a question in that time.
Le mainstream, enfin, je sais même pas ce que c'est, quoi. Ça m'intéresse même pas.
I don't even know what a mainstream is.
Et je suis pas sûr que ce soit plus facile.
And I'm not sure that doing in the mainstream was easy anyway.
Great. Basically, you guys are in another culture. The way you speak, the way you are, the way you study. I believe Europeans, and this is a lady from Mexico. There was someone that is very into school and all that. I said, why we were in the same plane, right? And I was telling, and we were talking. She just came from England. I'm going to Mexico from Atlanta. And she's telling me that why she loves Europe. And she said, because people read there. They like to read. They like to always read, and it's about culture,
Il a trouvé un Mexicain qui venait d'Europe. Et lui, ils se sont retrouvés dans l'avion et cette fille lui disait pourquoi elle aimait l'Europe. Et c'était parce qu'en Europe, les gens lisent. Et en Europe, il y a une énorme culture.
In United States, Chris, in United States, we tend to right away trying to commercialize something. It's about making money.
On essaie de commercialiser tout de suite quelque chose.
It is easy to deviate a band from the main core of the band, The band starts in a certain way and ends somewhere else.
C'est très simple aux États-Unis de dénaturaliser un groupe qui commence à quelque chose, le commercialiser et enlever son essence et l'envoyer ailleurs.
Yeah.
Après, il faut pas trop non plus trouver que l'Europe c'est si fantastique que ça. Moi, je trouve que
at the same time, we cannot say that Europe is the best thing in the world.
Moi, je trouve que dans les pays sud-américains, notamment au Mexique, les gens ont une culture rock qu'on retrouve absolument pas en France, par exemple.
I think in Mexico and in North America, they have a huge rock culture that sometimes we don't have in Europe.
Well, and also we don't have in United States.
In France, especially.
And we don't have it in the United States. If I go to a supermarket in Mexico,
Dans les États-Unis non plus.
If I go to the supermarket in Monterrey, where you guys were, I can buy a beer from Iron Maiden brand or AC/DC. In United States, here in Atlanta, no fucking way. I cannot get that. I mean,
Tu peux acheter des bières des AC/DC dans un supermarché à Monterrey, mais hors de question qu'aux États-Unis, tu vas trouver des choses intéressantes au niveau musical, par exemple à Atlanta.
You can also find a Corpus Delicti beer in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say it again. Say it again.
You can also find a Corpus Delicti beer in Mexico.
Well,
next to Last Dusk, if I remember well.
do you guys have a beer?
Yes, we had a deal with someone like I think 5 years ago.
Yes.
Just a little bit after the reunion, we signed a contract, but we saw the beer on pictures, but we never had any news from the guy since. So I don't know.
Okay.
But we have been told that some people saw the beers and beer, I think, in Mexico.
Some friends told me that they had that beer.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the band, I think, Chris, I want you to know that.
Chris, je veux que tu saches.
I really want you to know that we're confronting in the United States. We have an issue right now. The
Nous avons des
culture,
problèmes aux États-Unis.
and especially in this environment that we are in.
Dans l'environnement où nous nous trouvons en ce moment.
I'm not trying to criticize Donald Trump or whoever, but the culture itself.
Je veux pas critiquer Trump ou quelqu'un d'autre, mais c'est même la culture même.
It's about money. And
Tout est sur l'argent, en fait.
it's about money, and it is okay. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. However, it has a lot of negativity, because once you get the money to be the focus, we forget about the essence in everything. It's the service, about things, doing companies, services, products, and things that really care about the pride of the service or the pride of the music. There you go. Here you have New Order, you have these other bands and all that, but we are this, okay? And you know what? We probably don't have stadiums. We don't have all these big things, but we are this, okay? And we enjoy, we love it. And those guys going to your concerts, traveling from other cities and things to go see you just to get a signature, it is amazing. I mean, it is freaking amazing. It is so good. And I wish we all musicians had that privilege, to just because you guys were loyal to something, You were loyal to that. Okay, guys.
J'ai tout compris.
Okay.
Ce que je pensais, c'était très clair.
Sebastian, can we go through your albums on on platforms? I'm gonna share this. I want people to understand your music, and let's see if I can. Spotify. I hate the Spotify because, well, anyway, I don't understand. I mean, I pay and everything for my subscription, but I don't understand how to navigate it. And so anyway, this is my Corpus Delicti, right? This is your new album, your new single. Let me put this information here. Corpus Delicti. Let me just, people understand that you guys have a new single.
Yeah, it's a particular one. It's a cover from Bruce Springsteen's cover, "Dancing in the Dark."
Mm-hmm.
It was not something we really planned to do. It was Cleopatra, the American label, asked us to take to participate in a compilation they were working on called The Black Album. They were asking bands to make a cover from a song with in the title the word dark or the word black in the title, and they asked us if we were interested in participating in this competition. We said, okay, why not? And they sent us a list of like 100 songs. And when we saw "Dancing in the Dark," we are not really Bruce Springsteen's fans, but
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But that's what was challenging, because We hesitated between this song and "People Are Strange" from The Doors. I'm a huge fan from The Doors, and I think "People Are Strange" was maybe too close to not a little bit of a universe, and "Dancing in the Dark" was so far from a universe. So we thought that would be challenging to do this one. So
Congratulations.
It took us many
Hours.
times. We almost called it a hand because it was too difficult, and we had we spent many hours trying to find the right direction. And finally, Frank, a guitarist, came with this version, like a little more electro, and we said, yes, okay, that's maybe the idea, maybe the place where we can bring this song. So we recorded it, and Cleopatra was so happy with the result that they decided to, before the album, to put it online as a single. And like we gave them the song like mid-February, and like two weeks after it was online. So we were a little bit surprised because we did not expect that. But as we were like kind of pleased with the result of the cover, so that was nice. But it's not a song that will be on any of our proper albums.
Okay, but we can go through. I'm gonna go. Let me see if I can do something else. I love Spotify better. I mean, I love Apple Music, not because the only reason is that I have the app on my computer and I can show it better, not because whatever else. I don't want to have a problem with Spotify, but probably we can go and talk more about. This is what I want to know. Basically, I want to know how people can find you on platforms, and if by any chance you guys have some kind of I feel so bad about this. Give me 1 second. If by any chance you have a tell me if look at this. Is that okay if I do this? People see it? Okay. If there's anything that people cannot hear from you guys in platforms, if it's something that you gotta go somewhere, or tell us all about your tricks with music.
No, everything is online. Everything is on platform. All we did can be found online. All the albums from the 90s are online. Since the reunion, we have released 2 singles and a live album. They are all online. Obviously, the best way to support the band is to buy from a store, because of course streaming is great for making people come to the shows, but a band can't live with the streaming. So we also have a official store.
Okay.
And on our store, you can buy all vinyls, CDs, T-shirts, bags. So
can you give me the website? Your website.
Oh, the website is really simple. It's corpusdelicti.com.
You're very lucky to have that Corpus Delicti that kind of URL.
Yeah, it's thanks to a fan from America we have this URL, because she bought it. She was a fan. She bought it like 20 years ago. She bought the name, the URL, and she took contact with me to let me know about that. And when the band was not existed anymore, she made like a site with like discography and photos. And when we had the reunion, she saw that and she wrote to me and told me, okay, this website is yours, as the band is existing now. So
wow, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having a band like you, a band that really cares about the audience and their audience being loyal. So you get loyalty back.
Yeah, and she gave us the URL, so that was nice to her.
Yes, 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 yes. Look, this is your website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And if
And
you go on the official store there, then you have to click on the image and you go directly to the store.
Perfect. So buying an album, which album you say, you know what, you guys gotta buy this album? Tell me which album you would recommend.
I would say we released a double live album in October, and we are really proud of this one. We recorded this album in Mexico City in 2023.
You're talking about Dust to the Light.
From Dust to
to
Light.
the Light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
this one is 35 arrows.
yes, that's
right?
it.
And then it's shipped sold out. You have it sold out.
No, not the album. We had a limited edition with the book. This one was really was quickly sold out when we had the pre-orders. But now we have the vinyl and the CD.
Who sent when you said that? What's the deal with what's the deal with your with the shipping?
Oh, you mean who's doing the shipping?
Yes, and how much?
How much does it cost?
Oh, we all do the shipping by ourselves. This is our shop, so we do the package, the shipping. We sign the vinyl CDs if people want. That's no problem. And for example, to send the double vinyl to outside of Europe, it costs something like, I think it's like 18 euros to send it.
Okay, I'm gonna put this. Can you see that I'm doing it? No, you're not seeing.
No, we just see the image of the store.
Okay, I'm ordering mine, but I need my car, right? I need my car. How can I pay for this? Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I probably need you to be talking while I go get my wallet, because I want to buy this live album.
Really
but
nice.
It's yes, it is. Heck, look, we need to really bring understand European rock music, understanding the same way that we are having these old bands and like I don't know, Oasis, playing again. I hate that band so much. But it's okay. It's okay. I know it's a great one, the Wonderwall and all that. But it's not. There's something there. But it's $7,000 to go watch them, and they cancel, and they cancel the concert.
That's crazy.
I mean, you freaking kidding me? To see guys are just playing something that is so easy. It's like drugs, getting lots of sugar in your mouth, and it's like can you use your brain a little bit and go beyond your brain comprehensive?
It's mainstream. You talk about it. It's just mainstream.
It's mainstream, and we need to really let me go with comments, and then someone have to say something long so I can go get my wallet. Okay. Let's go to comments. Greetings, guys.
Oh, we know Alex.
Alex
from No, it's not. That's not. Blood Dance.
Where is he from? Where is he's
Mexico City.
Wow. Hey, Alex, you rock. Yesenia Centeno. She's
Excellent
from Colombia.
Musician.
Yesenia Centeno is a friend of mine, right? Well, anyway. Gustavo is one of our followers. Saludos desde Monterrey. Saluditos desde Ciudad de México. Lucía Rosas, ¿la conocen?
No.
Yes.
Bringing Corpus Delicti back to life is one of the best things that has happened in recent years. And the fact that they are making new music is even better. Yes, of course.
Thanks.
We need to talk about youth. We need to talk about keeping ourselves young, because when you go tour, how many minutes are you on the stage?
On stage?
Yeah.
We have 4.
How many?
4.
4 hours?
Four.
Oh, sorry. No, I did not get it. No.
Wait,
Oh,
when you're
no.
in a gig, how many
No, yeah. Oh, an hour. Most of the time, it's like an hour and a half, an hour
No,
and
no.
45 minutes. Yeah, that's it.
90 minutes, 90 minutes.
90
Perfect.
minutes. Yeah.
There you go. Unfortunately, there are no real professional promoters for this kind of bands. Yeah, because we cannot blame the promoters. Promoters are trying, it's a business, right? They're trying to, we need to see it differently. We need to see the guys like the lady that did the website.
Mm.
We need to have more of those people that really understand what's behind. And that lady might need to go and say, hey, you, my friend that owns this company here, but happens to be you're my friend. This band is so cool. Will you help me out with bringing them, I don't know, $4,000 donation for some kind of something, is tax deduction or something. Find a way to bring art from another countries, from another places. So we exchange values and things and we promote, because I'm going to tell you something. The time the Congress of United States of Mexico, whatever, is full of musicians, other than lawyers, and things, there can be lawyers, engineers, and there's a congressman in there and whatever, but it's also a musician. That's going to be, you will not have these stupid idiots there because they're so stupid, because they know they talk to another stupid group and they convince them and they manipulate them and they make lots of money. They make all the time lots of money by manipulating that. But once you are a musician and then you're dealing with a musician, your brain starts lining up with the mind of God and this. Anyway, I'm not gonna stop drinking, Eduardo. Gran trabajo. Muy bien. Yes. Well, gran trabajo.
That was maybe the answer to Alex, that he was after that he was saying that there is no promoters anymore, and I say, well, yes, but there are still promoters with heart, actually.
Yeah.
For good music. I think that's the case. I mean, as you said, there's the mainstream that, like, all these big festivals that are in Mexico City, like Lollapalooza, like Corona Fest, like Hell and Heaven, Viva Latino. They all start like with a big ambition to bring great bands, and now when you go, they mix even with other kind of music that is not rock. I'm not saying anything bad about those kind of music, like salsa, cumbia, or other things, but they just want to sell tickets and to get a lot of money. But there's still, as I said, like people that the ones who organized the concert in each part. I went with Corpus Delicti, that they were real fans of the band, and they were not asking themselves if they were losing money. They were really want to be part of history. The person who bring Corpus Delicti to their country.
Betty, explain me all that in Spanish, okay? And I'm gonna put you, but you gotta give me like a 2 minutes. I need to go get my wallet. And
okay, get your wallet and I explain everything. No, pues ya lo había dicho. Está en el comentario que hace Alex de Blood Dance, que lo que faltan son buenos promotores que realmente tengan amor por el rock, que sean profesionales. Y lo que le decía es que, bueno, a lo mejor ya no hay promotores profesionales, por así decirlo, que realmente quieran invertir en cosas con calidad, sino que pueden mezclar incluso en grandes festivales rock con salsa, con cumbia, con reggaetón, que no es algo malo. O sea, en realidad no es algo malo toda esta música. Es el hecho de tener un festival de rock, y para que funcione y para que venda, mezclarlo con un poco de todo para jalar mucha gente y vender boletos, ¿no? Y no ser realmente leales a la línea con la que empezaron un festival, ¿no? Mientras que, por ejemplo, lo que decía es que toda la gente, todos los promotores, grandes o pequeños que trabajaron con Corpus Delicti, es otra cosa, porque ellos querían ser parte de la historia, ¿no? Querían ser el primer promotor que llevó a Corpus Delicti a su país, y eso, amigos, cambia todo.
Eso. O sea, I'm in a band, right? I had a band that we did great. We went different places and we have our music is in everywhere. And they interviewed me a few years ago from la Universidad Autónoma de México, la UNAM, because they said that we had some influence in the culture of Mexico. That's what they say. They were doing that anyway. So, and they asked me, Eduardo, is there a way that Mexico will have a Metallica or Beatles band? I said, of course. We have the talent. We have 4 guys that if we found them and put them together, definitely we can have a Metallica or something like that. The problem is that we need, it's like seats. They're the seats, right? If we don't have la maceta, the dirt and the fertilizers and the right environment, we will never make them happen to have success. So at the end of the day, it's not about the promoters. We need to find other ways to bring bands from Europe and understand and kind of an exchange. You know how many bands, guys, you motivated with this tour? Do you understand that, Sebastian?
No,
How many people you got their hearts?
I do. I'm suffering of their success. I receive mails of like excellent bands in Europe that told me they want to come to Latin America, and I say, of course, everyone wants to go to Latin
but what
America.
what I'm trying to say is this: is do you know how many people you touch in their hearts from that crowd right here? At least one guy from that group, one guy at least is gonna do a band in 10 years, and I saw these guys, and
that would be nice.
no, I I promise you.
Yeah.
I think already happened. If I can say, because I wasn't there for the first Corpus Delicti concert in Mexico City, but I know some of the friends that play with Corpus Delicti were really touched because Corpus Delicti inspired them in the 90s to create music. So I think it already happened.
Yes, it already happened. I'm pretty sure. But now that by you going there and playing live, Sebastian, Chris, you're really making that thing you're pushing them to create something like your music. I give you my word. Hey, so okay. Which one is the album that you like the best, Sebastian?
I would say maybe the one to come.
The one to come.
The one to come, yes. No, for the 90s album, I would say maybe maybe the third one. It's not the one maybe people like the most, the one called Obsessions. I think it's the one where we took a little more risks. We had much more experimentations on this one. It was a strange album. It was at the beginning, it was a short album. We just wanted to put like 7 or 8 tracks. Finally, it was like, I think 9 tracks at the end. But I don't like all the songs on this album, but there are maybe 2 or 3 songs on this one that are the one I like the most. So it's maybe why I think of Obsessions first. But I know that people are normally Sylph's second album is people's favorite album. But when you ask me this question, I think of Obsessions first.
So Obsession is the third album.
Yes.
But then you have a pause, right? That's
when
25
years pause, 30 years pause, yes.
So Chris, tell me, because I like to read interviews, right? Like Jess. I read one time a interview with this band, and Jess, damn, Jess is one of the best bands in my life, is amazing. And they have this album called Close to the Edge. Are you familiar to Close to the Edge?
No.
Oh, it's it's out of this world. It is so difficult. They said that when they did that album in England, it was so hard to leave, to play, to get together. They live together. They have so much frustration because it was so good. So you think maybe Obsessions give you that kind of a stretch?
Not really.
No?
Not really. No, it's just like I was telling you. There are 2 or 3 songs like Motherland, another one called Lies Spoken, which are really particular to me. So they are among the songs I like to play the most when we are playing live, also, and they maybe have a special meaning for me. So that's why I'm thinking of Obsessions first.
Do you do music in a way that, you know what, heck, we like to make it, we want to record it, we want to do it, even though it might not be easy to play it live? Do you consider that? I mean, do you have any songs that you say, you know, this song is not for live, but we have to do it? We have because we love it.
It can happen. It can happen, but we are not stopped by that, because I think that maybe some songs are maybe made to stay on the album and maybe not to be played live. When we are working on an album now, and we have almost finished all the creation of the songs. Some are recorded, some are about to be recorded, but we already know that maybe there are some songs that we won't play live from this album, or maybe if we play them live, we can play them differently, and we can adapt them from a live version that can be interested to. But we don't stop ourselves when we are in the process of creating songs. We don't stop ourselves by saying, oh no, we don't do that song, we won't be able to play this live. No, we do the song, and after that we see whether we can do with the song.
You know what, you guys, have you ever thought about doing acoustic versions of your music?
Chris? No.
Yeah, no.
No, not really. No.
Okay.
Doesn't like it.
Anyway, I'm gonna tell you something. You're very lucky, guys, because you can play your music for years to come, because the tone that you play, that you sing, because the problem always will be the singer. You know, like Guns N' Roses now, Bon Jovi, all these Aerosmith, they cannot sing any more than music. It is a shame, because you know, like so it is so hard. And you guys are like your tone is like
I always had a low voice. So.
Low voice, very good, very calm. So you can play your music for another
hopefully
20 years.
He take care of himself too, with a lot of honey.
Hey, Sebastian, trust me, this shit just got started.
I hope.
Yes. Anyway, I just want I want to say, is there anything that you think I want to ask you something. You guys are from France. What's your real thoughts of the United States issues with the rest of the world, NATO? Do you want to say something very quick, please?
Chris?
No comment.
No comment.
That's everything.
Is it important the United States allied with Europe and stay tied with Europe?
Yeah. Just not to be so political, but for us from France, I think that it's a pity to see how things are going from 1 month or 2 now, because we from Europe, we have the feeling that we were friends with the United States, and little by little we feel that we are kind of losing it. And despite of all that can happen due to that, it's just because United States have always been so helpful with Europe since many years, since world wars. So it's just strange to feel that we are in a time that this is about to change. So it's like
hopefully not,
but it's like a strange feeling.
The
D-Day. And from us as musicians, we really feel that it's really difficult to come to play in the United States. We've done a tour in the 90s, and that was easy to come to play in the United States in the 90s. We just had to go to Marseille to get a visa, and we had the visa in like maybe 1 hour. And 2 weeks after, we were on the plane to go to play to the United States. Now, since 2 years, we tried to come to play to the United States, but we were really close to last year. We had an agency that was working for us and had organized a tour, but visas were so expensive that to be quick, it's like when if we had said okay to this tour, we already we knew that we were losing like $8,000 to come to play. So it's not possible in that condition.
No, I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that. What you guys need to do is go to Mexico, become Mexicans, and then
cross the border through the river with the instruments.
Well, no, you can have it. Yeah. Anyway, I was just saying.
Find a coyote. Find a coyote.
Stop. Anyway, Chris, you want to talk about AI music. AI in music.
It's a big problem, I think. I think we are the last generation of human musician. In the next generation, it's over. The band like us. I think the people like IA X. Yeah, I know. I prefer why it's finished for the real musician. I think.
Can you explain? ¿Lo puedes decir en español, Betty?
Sí, la pregunta que se hizo es ¿qué piensa Chris de la IA, ¿no? Y dice que su sentimiento es que pues es el fin de la música como la conocemos, que ellos son parte de la última generación de músicos humanos y que hay mucha gente que dice que la IA es maravillosa, hacen la IA con esto, hacen la IA con el otro, lo que no se dan cuenta es que estamos llegando al término de algo, ¿no? Entonces dice que siente que es una pena porque las nuevas generaciones a lo mejor ya no van a crecer con músicos de verdad.
Exacto. Exactly.
Fortunately.
Pero yes and no, we'll see. We gotta make an effort. We gotta make an effort to create the experience of being. I don't think that you ever gonna have. You need the soul behind. Talking about soul, I mean your music. If it's gothic, I was thinking. If it's gothic and all that, you guys you have a bright message among that, right? Do you want to talk about your message in general, or song or two that you want to explain, and give me like a 2 minutes kind of essay so I can buy the album, okay?
Oh, an essay on the songs. Oh my God, I don't like really explain it's always difficult for me to explain the songs, but you said something that is true, is that there is a light in our music. Okay, some people, it has been called goth music. We understand why, because in the 90s we had the look, we had all the stuff that was going with goth music, and we were listening to some goth music. I was a huge fan of Christian Death. Chris is a huge fan of Studio and the Benches. Frank loves The Cure. So yes, we are part of this community, but I think our music is not only goth music, because it's more like, for us, we have a drum, a guitar, a bass, and a singer. So it's maybe a little more like simply rock music. I would say maybe dark rock music, because some lyrics or some atmospheres can be a little bit darker, but I would say maybe rock music rather than goth music. And it's really, there's no really special message in our songs and in my lyrics particularly. I would say, I always say that my lyrics are like a personal diary of my of my life. When I read some lyrics I had that has been written when I was 20 or 25, I know exactly why I wrote this and what I was thinking at that time. And it's most of the time it's like personal stuff. And if some people can find themselves in what I have said, what I have written, so it's good for me, it's okay for me. But I would say, like, most of the time, the lyrics I am writing are for me first, and like I don't know, something to maybe like a cure to ease something I have in me, to heal something I have in me. But most of the time, my lyrics are first for me. It's maybe a little bit selfish, but it's how I see the way I am writing. But through the years, I had some people that told me that this song or this song is meaning something really powerful to them. For example, the song Motherland on Obsessions, which is really particular for me. A girl told me last year, I think that was in Bogotá, that a mother passed away, and the song that helped her through that really difficult phase of a life was Motherland. So that was really touching for me to hear that when one of our song can't help people sometimes to get on through difficult times. So there's no special message in my lyrics, just I don't know, universal messages. I hope so, but first, it's personal. It's always personal and always something that has a bound to my life and what I am.
Well. Where is this guy? Chris! Hey, I'm gonna... You said something very good. Do you hear what he said, Chris? About doing the music for you? Do you want to comment on that?
Tu veux ajouter quelque chose à ça?
Non, it's perfect. My finger, it's perfect.
Approve.
No, but I think it's the same for the music. I think I can speak for Chris, Frank. When we make music, the first ones who have to like the songs are us. And we don't tell ourselves, okay, will people like this song? Will it sound like Corpus? We don't really care about that. We do first the song for ourselves, and if people and we hope we know that we have a fan base, and we hope that people will follow us with, for example, the new material. But we always first do the songs for us, and I think it's the same direction for lyrics or music. It has to please us first, and then we hope that people will follow on these ones.
Amazing. That's probably the key of this kind of culture. That's why people maybe it's not like a mainstream or stadiums or something, but the people that love you so much, they will be there for you. And it's more like just being fans. It's like a being family, and you mean a lot for a lot of people. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that you feel so good about yourself doing music, and you're so proud. I mean, I wish you guys have a better, more resources.
Mm-hmm.
Music like yours. We had people that does really care about the music, about the originality of the real soul of the music, connecting with certain people. I wish those guys there's a better path due to that. I wish. But let me show you something. Can I share something, Sebastian, Chris?
Of course.
Let me share something. Thank you, Eduardo. So you better send me my album. Very good, because and throw me something, because they charge me for that. So But
We will sign it.
Hey, send me something like a bumper sticker or something to put on my car.
No problem.
I was gonna say, can we go ahead and read some comments, because I want your fans to have a saying. Okay, let's see. Can I go ahead? Oh my God, there's so many. I didn't know. Okay, Lucia says, buen trabajo. Then Beatriz Rosa says,
it was me that answered to
sorry.
Alexander.
Perdón. And then here, Mónica Hernández.
Oh,
Mi nombre es Mónica Hernández de España, pero vivo en Francia. Padezco una grave... chingada madre. Sí, ¿verdad? Bueno, perdón.
He's sick.
Okay. Hello, my friends. It's Marco.
hello,
Y lo
Marco.
dice, pero justo me refiero a lo profesional en tomar en cuenta que ellos tienen un equipo de trabajo y entonces dicen, no, aquí se los ponemos. No se preocupen, promesa parte profesional. ¿Tú sabes de qué está hablando, Betty?
Yes, he was talking about what he said before about that there are no professional promoters like really betting for this kind of bands. And now he said that like when they have a team like Corpus Delicti, that they just come with the music, or they come with the instrument, they come with a sound engineer, with a tour manager, that most of the time they want to take that away, to say, no, okay, come and we give you instrument, we give you a team, but they don't care. At the end, they don't care about the quality.
Okay, perfect. And then says, Marco Lacroix said, don't be too strong with things, Alex. Magic of music that they make is not for ordinary things, as
we know
for the mainstream. We are in the underground, and this is the value of all this. Great band, great musicians, and human being. Amazing. And then Alex says, desafortunadamente... So, ¿me explicas de qué están hablando? ¿Están discutiendo o qué?
They engage, and they say like that's his point. Like that talking about dark music, and if we talk about dark music, like something like it's for a few people, we don't give the chance to other people to. Well, maybe I'm sorry interpreting Alex, but I think what that he means.
Okay. Traen una plática ahí, padre, que tendría que saber más, y me encanta me encanta, y uno habla en español y el otro en inglés, o sea, eso es lo chistoso. At the end, do music and this generate for love and conviction, the rest is represent all we are on the ideals of the underground criteria and being consistent in what you think you are. So, and then, okay. And then the same was said in the 70s, 80s with sequence synthesizers, though maybe it's just another tool. Look,
with
yes and no.
Chris.
Yeah, yes and no. Right now, it's a topic for maybe another time, but AI can help you. Yes, it can help you with certain things. Now I have to get my account and everything because I do music for living too, for commercials and things. And there's things that we're seeing, like what kind of style, how would it sound, this and that. And then you can do the music after you got an idea that how it may sound. It can be a tool. It was so hard for me, Sebastian, Chris. For me, it was so hard. I knew about this long time, but my very good friend, that also has a radio, said, use it, you can use it. You can use for jingles on the radio and things like that. Use it. You need it. That's what you've been doing. You've been doing music for a long time. And if you're fighting against it now, use it in some way. And then I was thinking this. Back in the days, you have to hire violin people, like musicians from orchestras and things, to do a key, like the sound, like a da 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 da. Violas, you need violas for that sound. you need violins, you need a lot of people. Now, with a damn keyboard right here, you do tha, 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 tha. So maybe in the 60s and 80s and 70s when we came up with this tha, 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 the violin people, all these guys, musicians that play the violin, the viola and all that, the cello, they were like, what the fuck? Right? And now we are doing it. We're using it. And everybody's normal. Yeah. Tha, 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 tha. But I think the AI is ridiculous. I mean, it's way too much. It's like...
Yeah, that synthesizer is like a robot idea.
Yeah.
And AI, it's like a Terminator or something like that at the end of the ages.
Betty, you put it in a very nice way. That was... That's...
I mean, there are like robots and robots. Like
Yeah.
this is, as Chris said, maybe it's the end of an area. So
Yes. The
Huge.
same with... okay. Another... Man, you have a lot of comments. Okay, Alex, lyrics made for others are... Okay. So should we... That would be interesting. You guys...
Press Grand Metropole, that's the other Corpus Delicti side project.
Oh, what is it? Tell me about it.
Oh, about Press Gang. Chris, maybe?
Tu traduis, Béa?
Ouais.
Il y avait une chanson que j'aimais bien, c'est Answer.
There is
J'aimerais
a
bien la
song,
refaire,
he
ouais.
really liked it. It was a gangster song.
Answer.
Answers.
Answer. I thought gangster, sorry. An answer song. Okay.
Because our friend is asking if we would ever consider to play Press Gang Metropole's songs. That's not something we had in mind for the moment because we were really focused on the Corpus Delicti catalog. But yes, Press Gang Metropole is a side project we did with Chris and Frank in like 12, 13 years ago. And but we did one album back, the three of us together under that name, but we really didn't talk about the possibility of playing songs. But yes, maybe that could be an option to pick up one or two songs from the album we made and play them live for special occasion. Maybe, yeah, why not?
Let me tell you what they say. They say those songs deserve to be heard.
That's nice. Yes, I agree. There was some nice songs on the album. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this band that he's talking about, Press Gang Metropole? Is it on platforms?
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. I'll take a look on it. That would be interesting. But above all, you are the great band to recover the important point of the transmission hugs to everyone. Nice. Thank you, Marco. Thank you.
Marco actually is an excellent musician too. He's a very historical musician in Mexico City. He's one of the leaders of Maldoror, who doesn't exist anymore because
the what?
Maldoror. It was like an old 90s band, and he was part of it. He was one of the founding members. And Octavio passed away, and now he has Luna Christie or Luna Misty. That it's an excellent band too. So it's a good musician talking about.
Betty, would you say in Spanish your role with Corpus Delicti?
Bueno, ahorita digamos que estamos en el servicio después de venta. En realidad, yo digamos que conocí a Corpus Delicti en París porque tuvieron un concierto, su primer concierto después de mucho tiempo, la Maroquinerie. Sebastián, igual de Maroquinerie.
Yes.
Y como tenía que ir porque yo también me dedico a hacer contenido periodístico, tenía que ir al concierto de From 242 y se me hicieron tan lindos, o sea, tan humanos, que dije, no me puedo perder el concierto de Corpus Delicti. Entonces vi que iban a estar en Marsella y los fui a grabar allá y bueno, ya después eso se volvió como que los grabé, me fui a verlos al Gótico también estuvieron en la sala Tausendal, que es la más importante del Gótico, que estaba llenísima de fans
¿Cómo
de
se
Corpus
llama?
Delicti. El Gótico Treffen, el VGT,
Es en
que es el
Francia.
festival, creo que es el festival más grande de música oscura, y es en Leipzig, en Alemania. Los fui a grabar ahí, y bueno, fui a grabarlo como a 1000 lugares, y al final fui a un concierto en Niza, y me dijeron pues que se iban de gira por Latinoamérica, entonces ya conoces la típica broma mexicana de, ay, llévenme la maleta. Take me your suitcase, please. Fue la broma que les hice en Niza, y me dijeron, a la mejor. Y bueno, en enero me llamó Frank y me dijo, oye, nos gusta cómo trabajas y las cosas que haces, ¿podrías venir como encargada de prensa de la banda? Y yo, claro que sí. Entonces dije, no, pues claro que me voy con ellos. Pero bueno, luego resultó que hubo muchas complicaciones con la organización del tour, y Sebastián me pidió que les ayudara con el tour manager, pero yo nunca había sido tour manager de una banda. Había trabajado mucho con tour managers y recibiendo bandas en la Ciudad de México. Eso lo hice en los 90, en los 2000, entonces tenía una cierta experiencia, pero no llevar a unos monstruos como Corpus Delicti por Latinoamérica, y pues así. Entonces, me tocó organizar esta gira y
Haces muy buen trabajo. You do a great job. I think Corpus Delicti, congratulations guys for doing this hiring. I mean, I believe you guys have someone that understands European underground scene, but also she's Latina, and Latinos, we love this. So Mexico, Peru, whatever, Bogotá, and it was such a, the universe starts, once you get your purpose and you said this is what we're doing, the universe takes care.
It was not that easy all the time, because as you say, it's two worlds, like Corpus Delicti, as they used to work with in Europe, that is very structured, and the chaotic chaos tour in Latin America, and all these like ways to work and think, like in Peru, for example, it was like the time is not the same that in the rest of the world. So they are very slow, and like since the Incas doing things, so at some point, even for me, it was too much, right? Like they were like super slow doing things. But as you said, I was very happy to be there, and I'm French too now. I have the nationality, so at some point when things get hard, I try to focus at like, okay, like no one is wrong that Corpus Delicti work like this because it's a French band, and I'm French too, so I tried to get their point. And for the promoters, it was the same. Like it was so chaotic, but at some point I said, it's the way it is in Peru, so we are not going to change 2,000 years of functioning like that. So
exactly.
that was pretty much my job.
Exactly. A friend of mine, the bass player, the guitarist, and then bass player, my second band, he moved to Yucatan. I remember it's also Mayans, and like
oh yeah,
Cancun,
it's the same about
Cancun.
The
And he couldn't stand it because people start working at 10 or 11, go to lunch at 1, come back at 5, and leave at 7. So slow, everything. In Monterrey, we are so like this,
yeah, I know.
We're
it's a different culture in Monterrey.
Yes. Oh no, we're. I had a girlfriend in the United States that says, "Oh, but on the weekends we're not gonna talk about work." It's like what? We always talk about work. Life is, it's like a work. What we do for living, we talk about it all the time. You guys always talking about your music, right?
Yes.
So anyway, going back to the band. Congratulations, Betty. I'm so honored to meet you, and it's been such a great thing. I think you're gonna help the band to really get more places to go play. And
it was a pleasure. I mean, it was a big pleasure, and I was honored to to be with them. At some point, I just felt like I was thinking, I'm real here. I mean, because sometimes it was like, like being in a tour, like it's super demanding. Like you have a problem right now, but it was a problem from yesterday, and it's that problem coming from tomorrow, and you have to deal with all that. But something that like really was special for me, it was like no matter what happened, at the end of the day, there was a concert Delicti, and I was there.
Yes, and you are part of it. You guys are top notch band, and you and thanks God you're back. Someone's mentioned there something about you. It's a pleasure. It's so nice that you guys are back. Alejandro Molina, congratulations, greeting from Peru. We have a lot of. I mean, we constantly get over 500 million people engage on rock radio and more on Facebook every month. We always reach more than 5 million, and a lot of people from Mexico City, Peru, Bogotá. Those are our main cities. Atlanta some, Monterrey some, but mainly is Mexico City, Bogotá, Peru. That tells you something. And let me tell you guys, Chile is one of the number ones metal band culture in the world, along with Filipinos, and we need to pay attention to Chile. I don't know what we need to do, but we'll figure out. So it was
going very well with Chile.
our friendship is long. Is anything? I mean, things gonna happen. Things will, we'll be in touch very, very often. But and for this interview, is there something that I'm missing, Sebastian? Do you want to talk, or Chris? Do you want to say?
Just know maybe that we have been a little more. We have been working on new songs, as I was telling you, like for the last couple of months, and we are really, really looking forward to share these new songs with the audience, because when we did the reunion for Corpus Delicti, at first that was just to make a few shows. Maybe we talked about like 10 or 20 shows, and we thought that we would call it an end after those shows. But we had such great feedback from the audience, and more and more people were asking, are you going to release some new songs? And really, that was not in our minds when we started to play together again a few years ago. And I was just telling myself, okay, we could work on new songs, but would we find the alchemy we had together in the 90s? Would it be the same in making new music now? And frankly, the music we are producing now we are really proud of it. The first single that came out last year, called Chaos, had an amazing feedback from the fans also, and gave us the feeling that we still had some things to say. And all the new songs we have been working on this last months, we are really, really proud of them, and we are really looking forward to share these new songs with public, and we hope to release the new album before the end of the year normally.
Perfect. How can people? It's Corpus Delicti is basically your handle, right, for social media. Corpus,
yeah.
Corpus Delicti.
Yes.
And Chris, do you want to say something?
No, it's okay. Perfect for me.
No, Chris. No, you gotta.
I don't speak in an interview. Never.
No. But you gotta say something. Say something in French.
I play bass.
I play bass. Yeah, great bass, man. I easily saw that I mentioned earlier, how you guys build up from the bass. It's so beautiful that the atmosphere that you put on your bass. Guitar, of course, amazing and all that, but that tone, that vibe that you put on your lines, it is amazing. It's a great music. the environment. I mean, the atmosphere you create on everything is on your music. Congratulations, Chris, and congratulations, Sebastian. I mean, keep going, keep doing the music that and be loyal to your music, and I hope soon I can see you live, whether I go there or you guys come here. But let me tell you something I forgot. Are you guys doing another world tour?
Yes, we hope so. We're just doing some festivals this year. We have, like, in Europe, like five or six festivals scheduled, and then when the album will be out, so probably at the end of this year, we will go back on tour for next year. So from January next year, I suppose.
Okay, 26. We're probably gonna have you on the 26th in Latin America again. So one question. I always thought, since I'm very young, because I remember back in the days there were not so many festivals, but there were. You know, we used to buy the concert teachers, right, in Laredo, Texas. We buy Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Triumph, all these bands. I used to go and whatever. So anyway, but every now and then I knew a place where you can buy like a t-shirts, concert t-shirts from festivals, but that I didn't go. You just go buy that. There was a secret place that I go and buy them and sell them in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I want to tell you, but I always thought that you cannot say, I saw Ozzy or I saw Corpus Delicti live if it was a festival. I always thought that. I always thought a festival doesn't count. What do you think? Can you say something against that? What do you think, Betty? What do you think, Chris?
For festivals,
no. It's not the same. I agree.
Yeah, it's not the same, but it's you have to be shorter when you play at the festival, of course, because we can't play like 1 hour and a half at the festival most of the time. But the vibe is different. But we had many great memories at festival. The one I have in mind was in Portugal. There's a festival called Extramuralas in Portugal. We've played there last year, and that was an amazing crowd, an amazing moment. And even if we maybe played like, I don't know, less than 1 hour, it was still a really great memory. But even if it's different, it's you can still have some really great moments playing at festivals.
Yes, you gotta, probably it will start building up in me. I don't care about festival. I never go to festivals. I don't like it. I like this. Look, this is what I see a band. I like this. Or this. I don't know. It's something. It's just being in a tight. This is it. You came here to watch my band. It feels so good, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Good. I'm sorry, Chris. You want to say something?
No.
Hey, Chris. I want to have a beer with you.
That's the point. That's the point, Eduardo. I think, Chris, if you let me say this, if you want to have a good chat with Chris, you have to go to Lima, go to the best cevicheria that is in the midtown of Lima, and take a pisco sour with him, and you will talk to Chris.
Yes. We'll do that. I have faith on that, and or we can. Is there French place that you guys have like the kind of, not about like everything is so nice and cool and you know that is whatever, you know, that you feel like a more like in Mexico, or like a cevicheria, taqueria, or something like that in Peru or Mexico? Is there a place in France that you can do, you can just go eat, have fun?
Yes, yes. We are from Nice, south of France, so I won't say that that kind of chemistry is happening in our city, in our hometown. But in Paris, I suppose, Bea, you can tell us. And in other cities in France, yes, there are hopefully and obviously some places where you can have a good time.
It's more about drinking than hearing. Than eating, because in Mexico you have to eat. Like Latin America, it's good to drink, but you have to eat. And I don't know, Sebastian, what do you think? But I think in France it's more like you maybe you eat at home, but the point is to go and drink and listen to music. And chat.
That's it. Yeah. Mm.
But it was a pleasure having you, and
Thanks
I hope this is not. I mean, we'll talk about your next tour, next interview we have. It was a pleasure having you there. I want to just say goodbye in Spanish to the audience, and then if you stay on and there, I will greatly appreciate it. It was a pleasure to have the band Corpus Delicti. Estuvieron con nosotros el año pasado cuando ellos llegaron a Lima, viniendo de su gira mundial. Empezaron en Lima, después fueron a Costa Rica, Bogotá, Monterrey, que bueno, quedó cancelado, pero fueron a Monterrey a firmar y hacer presencia con sus fans, y luego cierran el Día de Muertos en la Ciudad de México. Ellos ya habían grabado un en vivo un año antes, en el 23, en la Ciudad de México, y bueno, es un placer y un gusto tener estas bandas de los 90s resurgiendo, tocando de nuevo música nueva y la música de ellos de toda la vida. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros en Rock Radio and More. Les recuerdo que la música de Corpus Delicti y la de muchas otras bandas emergentes y consagradas están en rockradioandmore.com. Es un streaming que lo tenemos para todo el mundo. Tenemos diferentes plugins, players que los puedes escuchar, donde puedes escuchar la música en nuestra página de rockradioandmore.com. Muchas gracias.